What are the rules of your game? See, if you don't understand the rules, you can never win the game. And you have to understand that in all of life, everything you do, it's really just a game. And that's all it is. It's just a game. Now, there are plenty of valid arguments out there. Things like, I never signed any such social contract. I never, I never signed up to play by these rules. This is unfair. This shouldn't be that way. I have a better idea. Whatever. There's all sorts of ideas like that. That's not the point. The primary point is the fact that no matter what you're involved in, there are going to be rules. There's this theory out there that real fights have no rules. Well, I'll tell you what, every fight is a real fight, just in a different context. And every context has its own set of rules. Now, if you remove all possibility of legal recourse, then you are dealing with something that is bound by nothing more than the rules, the laws of physics. But even then, there are certain rules. We are hardwired to play dominance games. Men, most especially. Women don't really play dominance games, and not in the same way. But you have to understand that we are wired to play by certain rules because life wants to keep on living, regardless of what kind of life it is. And for the most part, none of us are that interested in killing somebody else, in taking their life. It's just not something that's high on our list of things to do unless there is a specific stimulus that says otherwise. So when conflict and strife arise and we enter into contest with somebody else, there are always going to be some kind of rules that you're going to be playing by. And so you have to understand that escalation is kind of a big deal. And you have to understand that there are consequences for escalation in every single scenario. Even in a place where there is absolutely zero legal recourse, which is some mythical place that doesn't exist, you are still going to have to deal with the potentiality of recourse from family and friends of the victim. You're still going to have to deal with the recourse of your own actions and how you feel about it. There are so many ifs, ands, and buts. Everybody says there are no ifs, ands, or buts. Well, there are a ton of ifs, ands, and buts. There are a ton of conditional circumstances that really, really play into the idea of rules of the game. So you have to understand the rules of the game. And if you really, really, truly want a nearly 100% way to win the game, if you want the ultimate edge, don't play the game. It's the only way. It's the only way. There is no other way to surefire win the game than to not play the game. But you have to understand that there is no such thing as a real fight. There is no such thing as a fight with no rules. It doesn't exist. There are simply different contexts, and each of those contexts has different conditions applied to it. And in that case, you have to understand what those conditions are and what the recourse will be, because absolutely everything has a consequence. And anything that has a consequence is something that should be analyzed and understood before entering the game. So there you have it. There are no rules. Except that there are rules everywhere. Every fight is a real fight, just different context. So, that's all I got for you. Consider it, think on it, chew on it, whatever. I will talk to you guys next time. Good journey.